What is up? Hello and welcome. James Lewis, Horror Vision 2020. And ladies and gents, horror and sci-fi aficionados, we have a treat for you today. We have an actor, a friend, a thespian, a pirate, a producer, director, a man that does it all. He's an awesome person. He's one of my friends. I'm glad I can say that. I'm not so sure he'd say the same about me, but we have an interview that is, very interesting. The stories about being on Pirates of the Caribbean and on American Horror Story with Lady Gaga. I mean, it's a 32-minute interview and it's worth every second. So I'm looking forward to you guys tuning in and listening to us and Vince Lozano. Come on down. Check it out, y'all. It's going to be great. See you on the other side.
He's our people.
He's our people.
I'm everybody's people.
Exactly.
Right. All right.
What, Vince? What have you been doing? I know, obviously, we've been doing the poker and stuff. Like, what else have you been doing to kill time during quarantine?
Man, working out. Feels like I'm doing a prison workout every day.
Well, it could be where you could be there in prison. So
last place you want to be is in prison right now.
right. I saw the video of you and your son doing your dance off. You and your son.
Yeah. So we have a dance battle every night, and then
Who judges it though? Who judges to see who wins?
Who judges? I let him. I always say he won.
Because he's the little one. When he gets older, you can battle it out for real.
Exactly. So doing that, playing baseball with him, and watching movies.
Awesome. Well, I would like a lot of people would like to know more about you. Like, what movies you've been in? Pirates of the Caribbean. That's awesome. How did you get started?
In the acting business?
In the acting business.
I became an actor. Well, that started a while back, man. When I was like 18, I was a street dancer. I think I told James this story. But I used to be a street dancer and part of this crew back in Cleveland. And then we got really good, really popular. I toured with the Fat Boys and Rem DMC through the Midwest, just the Midwest, Didn't get paid a lot of money, but it was fun. There was a theater in the east side of Cleveland called Caramel House, which is the African-American theater, really, really popular, really, really famous. And they needed a kid like me that could dance, play basketball, sing and act. Well, I could dance. I could definitely play basketball, and singing, not so much, and I never acted before. But I went in there, auditioned, got the lead role in the play, and then that kind of started my whole acting career. Just started studying, found the love for it and passion for it, and that's what brought me out here to LA, and I've been going ever since. But it hasn't been that easy, though. I'll say that much.
If it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it, right?
Exactly.
That's right.
Like I said, if I wasn't an actor, then what else would I be? It's something that gives you so much love and passion and just makes you a full being.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree.
It is definitely a calling. I have a friend, because I make horror movies, and he says, you don't choose this business, the business chooses you. And you just can't stop. You just don't have much of a choice. You just have to just go for it. So
I agree.
Yeah. Yep.
How'd you get on Pirates?
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna ask.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. Tell us a little bit about the experience on Pirates, at least.
Well, I got a call to audition for Pirates, and to be honest with you, I didn't know that much about the Pirates of the Caribbean, right? I only been to Disneyland a few times at that time, and everyone I would tell, hey, I got a audition for Pirates. What? I love Pirates of the Caribbean. Really? You love that, right? Oh, great. So I think my car was broken down. It was broken down. exactly. And a buddy of mine had to give me a ride to the audition. And I'm like, well, it was raining like today, actually. I remember that. And it was just a couple lines. And I'm like, whatever, you know. So then I get a call a few days later. They say, hey, man, we want you to come back for a callback. I go, really? For a couple lines? But no, they were like, we want you to improvise now. So we want you to come in, do a full-blown improv of this crazy mad bomber pirate. I was like, okay, but we still want you to do those 2 lines. So I went in there and it was raining again. I remember, same thing, cloudy. And I went in there, did the audition. There was just 5 of us at the callback. But I do remember this was the last role they were going to cast in the film. And the name of the character was No Name Pirate. They didn't even have a character name yet. It was just no name. The site said no name. So I went in there and improvised with Rona Crest and had a really good time. And next day I got the call and they're like, hey, we're going to book him for like 3 weeks. And he's going to go to the Caribbean. And I was like, great, awesome. But 3 weeks ended up turning into 6 months.
Wow.
Because, yes. I was only supposed to be in a certain part of the film, but then Gore, I guess he just, I liked what I was doing and having so much fun. And we were down in Long Beach at the what do they call that? The Spruce Goose place. You know that big dome over there by the Queen Mary?
Yeah.
Well, it was empty at the time, and they put the Black Pearl in there. We were filming in there for like 2 weeks. And one day at lunch, I was grabbing lunch, and he comes over, hey, guess what? You're going to be throughout the whole movie. I was like, really? Wow, I'm going to expand your role. I'm like, great.
Gore,
so that's why I tell actors.
Gore Verbinski came over and told you that? The
Yeah.
director?
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of his. Huge fan.
No,
Because
he's awesome.
he did the remake of The Ring, which was amazing. So yeah, that's awesome that he went right to you to tell you that. Usually you don't get that kind of, connection with directors on big movies like that.
Oh no, I spent a lot of time with him. Got to know him really well. He's a great guy, and the thing about him is he's like a kid in a candy store watching him direct. It was a lot of fun. I'd stand behind the camera, whatever you call it. What do you call that? I forgot now.
The DP?
Film where they have the monitors and all that.
The camp, the video camp, Bill, or whatever they call it. Yeah, the video camp.
Yeah, so I go back there, watch him, and hang out and BS and see what he was doing and la la la. And look at his whole shot list, how he had it all organized and everything.
That's awesome.
Really quite an experience, So it wasn't like I was sitting in my trailer. I was hanging out, watching him, and because we had long days, 12 to 16-hour days.
Wow.
So
it
was pretty intense. Yeah.
But when the movie came out, it blew everyone away. Because when we saw, you had no idea what it was going to be. When you see it, blows you away.
Yep. Well, that was the thing. And I don't know if I told James this story, but we, when you're in it, you don't know what you're a part of. And we had no clue. But I do remember watching Johnny for the first time. We were shooting at the Universal backlot, and he was doing the pig scene with Gibbs, who's played by Kevin McNally. And that was the first time I really got him to see him do Jack Sparrow. And I was like so blown away by it. I was like, wow, this is awesome. This is really, really cool. But it wasn't until we were in the Caribbean, we were having a Super Bowl party, and they showed the trailer for the first time. And that's when we all looked at each other and we're like, oh my God, this is gonna be huge. Yeah. And then we were all right. We were so blown away. And then I ended up making the trailer. I was the tag at the end of the trailer, and I was like, wow, I even made the trailer for being the last guy cast.
So they cut the trailer together while you guys were still shooting? Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
They knew how big it was going to be.
Yeah, they had a great editor. His name was Craig. I don't remember his last name, but he put it together. And I remember him telling me, we were sitting at the bar, he goes, "Hey, you made the trailer." I go, "Really?" I go, "Wait." He goes, "Wait, you're going to see it." And sure enough, there I was. And I mean, I think the trailer came out on January, whatever the Super Bowl was, or February. And then the film came out in July. And it was pretty cool.
Yeah, because it was a tentpole. It was a summer tentpole movie, I remember.
Yeah.
Yes. But the theme was Disney and the black suits, for whatever you want to call them. They didn't think it was going to be a hit. Originally, they wanted Orlando Bloom to play Jack Sparrow's part, and they wanted Johnny to play the other part. Because they wanted an Earl Flynn type of pirate for Jack Sparrow.
No, and they would have done it. That would have been the only movie they made.
Yeah.
They were scared shitless when they saw Johnny, what he was doing. They were like, I'm sure you heard the stories. There were so many stories and interviews out there how they wanted to get rid of him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. After the first few weeks, they were like, "What the hell is Johnny doing?" But number 4, Cook, I can't remember his first name, Cook. He was the head of film at the time at Disney, and Bruckheimer had his back. They're like, "No way, trust us," and good thing they did.
Yeah,
because I think he got nominated for an Oscar that year too.
Yeah, he was a star, but not a mega star until that movie, because that movie put him way over the top.
Yep.
I always knew him from Nightmare on Elm Street. He had the cool kill where he's in the bed.
Yeah, Ninth Gate.
Yeah, that's where he met Russo.
James Russo. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we all know what happened with Pirates. I mean, it's an incredible experience for you. That's a lot of fun. You recently, like a couple years ago, worked on American Horror Story. You want to talk a little bit about that experience? I know you had an interesting character there.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun too. I got to work with Kathy Bates.
I love her.
Talk about an amazing actress. I was just watching her in Waterboy before I came out because I was showing it to my son, and I forgot she played the mom, and she was so good in that. And talk about having an amazing career. But I went in there as this porn director in the hotel and the hotel season, and what a set that was. I'd be walking into the soundstage and looking and say, "Wow, they built this in here," because I thought it was an actual hotel. But they replicated the Roosevelt and a couple of iconic hotels, and they made it into their own version of a really cool hotel here in LA on the lot at 20th Century Fox. And I got to work with Kathy Bates. I met Lady Gaga that season. Worked with really great director Bill Udenthal, who directed a lot of the seasons for for American Horror Story, and then he also is on Legion, and he's really one of the top TV directors around right now. And funny story with that too was I was supposed to work a week, and that ended up turning into 4 or 5 weeks.
He doesn't love you. I think that's what it is.
Once again, you never know.
That's how it is with James too. They just like him, because I remember when I first met him, that was it. I was like, yeah, he's got to be the lead in this, So you guys have it.
Yeah, behind your back, you're like, how do we get rid of him? Just Johnny Depp. Now you're still now jump ahead 15 years and you're still stuck with me.
I know, right? It's awesome though. It's good. Good.
Vince.
But the Horror Story, what a great show. Dan Murphy and the cast, and wow, it's just another great show to be a part of.
Yeah.
Too bad I died.
That's okay.
I died.
It's all right. Fans love the kills. You have good kills, that's worth it, you know?
And it wasn't get killed. Not many actors can say they got killed by Kathy Bates.
No, it's true. It's true.
You and Paul Newman.
No, was it James Caan?
Or James
Right?
Caan, sorry. Yeah, it was James Caan.
Yeah. Misery. See, I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, I knew. I didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
What came up with the sledgehammer on his leg?
Yeah. He thought Paul Newman,
true.
but it's James Caan. So they're in the same era, you know?
Kind of similar actors back in the day, I guess. You know, my brain, I was thinking of one or the other. Vince, what do you have a favorite horror film that comes to your mind?
Man, I used to love all the B horror movies, you know, with the werewolf and Frankenstein, and I don't remember most
like the Howling.
When I was a little kid. Exorcist is another one that scared the crap out of me. What about The Omen? Is that considered a horror film?
Yes,
or?
it is. Even though it's Gregory Peck and was it Lee Montgomery? I forgot her name, but yeah, it's a horror movie. Lee Remick? Is it Lee Remick?
Yes. Was that her name?
I think so.
Yeah, that scared the crap out of me too, with those Rottweilers, and I ended up. I love Rottweilers at the time when I was like, I'll never get a Rottweiler, and I ended up having 3 of them.
Because they take care of the evil ones, right?
What's that?
They take care of you if you're evil, right?
Yes.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, I love horror films. I mean, you know, besides those, you know, I became good friends with Kane Hodder. I love the Friday the 13th movies. What else? The Halloween films are great. I met can't remember the Thomas. What's her name? Thomas. She played the little girl in the original Halloween.
Danielle Harris.
Yeah, Danielle Harris. That's it.
Yeah, I know her well. She's come to my show a bunch of times. She's awesome. She's really cool.
She's really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you know, who doesn't like to be scared? And especially these days, you know, to get away from the craziness that we have going on right now.
Well, we're living a horror movie, right?
You know what? You're right. I mean, you go outside and people have that look in their eyes.
Yeah. People like, it's so crazy, like even going in public, like at the restaurant, you know, people walk away. Like you come out with their like food and like, boom, they're just like they step 2-3 feet away from you. I mean, people are freaking out. So yeah, we are living in a horror film.
Yeah. But
what's that?
We are living in a horror film. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing with, I mean, you got the 2 documentaries.
Tell us about those.
I've been in a couple horror films, but anyway, the documentaries. I produced Broken Brothers, which is about 2 brothers who had a rock band in the 60s. Right when they were gonna blow up, they ended up getting the Scientology and kind of screwed the band up. You know, they ended up having a top 10 hit. They were on American Bandstand, and basically, it's a film chronicling the 2 brothers and what Scientology did to their lives. So basically, one brother stayed for 30 years, the other brother got out 3 years in, but they hadn't spoken to each other in 30 years. And it's just crazy how religion cult, they call it a cult, so we'll say a cult can really tear you apart and break a family apart, like it did for these 2 brothers, the Loving Brothers. But there's a positive message in there, and it just talks about where they ended up in their lives and how they got back together and how they left Scientology and all that, and it's just a really, really, really powerful story.
Cool.
And then the other thing I've been working on, I've been directing and producing a boxing docu-series called 10 Count, where just going around to Compton, East LA, Linwood, Maplewood, and getting some really great stories of pro fighters who are struggling to get to that next level. And when I say next level, championship level. and the love that they have from the families, the support, the trainers who want that champion to walk into the gym to get them to the next level as champions, and everything that's happened to them in their lives, the struggles, to keep a gym open, the things that have happened in their lives, like losing loved ones and that kind of thing. But it's really, really a cool little docu-series. We're in editing right now, and we'll see where it ends up.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right now we're in the mecca of boxing right here in California. We have so many great young fighters out there and trainers here in California that we've, I think, taken over past New York and Michigan. Unfortunately, sorry guys.
It's all right, man. Dude, I'm telling you, I was thankful enough to help you out a little bit on the documentary, and it's gonna be a powerful series as well. That was a lot of fun, and those stories are really, really emotional and deep, and the struggle's real, man. So it's telling the truth. Yeah, what it's all about.
It's male and female boxers, or just male boxers?
Yes. I have a female pro fighter named Cobra. I think she's 30 years old. She was right when she was gonna explode. When she was 18, she ended up getting pregnant, couldn't fight in the Olympic trials. But she loved boxing so much that she came back to it after her kids were older. Now she's back and wants that world championship title. I have a little girl who's 13. Her name is Marilyn Gonzalez, and her goal is to fight in the Olympics in, I think, 2024, and then turn pro after that. And right now, she just won the gold medal in the Junior Olympics recently. And her story is just amazing. She lives in Watts and in the projects over there. The support that she has from her father and mother and her sisters, it's just I can't wait for people to see her story, and Cobra's and Temos and the trainers, Sal Casillas, Mando from Maywood, Javier Capetillo from Capetillo Gym in East LA, Liz Parr. She was a gold medal Pan Am winner, and she opened up her gym out in Long Beach called Governor's Gym, and she gives a whole great side of going from a boxer to being one of the few women trainers out there and opening up a gym.
I didn't know about all of that. Usually it's, definitely a man's thing, but that is really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so and that's what makes this so unique. I mean, when you watch 24/7 HBO show, it's pretty much about fighters who already made it. They're champions. They're in their fancy cars,
right.
Like Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao and big houses. No, these are simple folks. Some live in the projects. Yeah. Some live in South Central in the hood. But you know what? They're not giving up their dream.
Yeah, Pacquiao came from really poor too. In fact, what he does, he builds houses because people are so poor in the Philippines. So he builds like little towns for people.
Yeah, he definitely is one of the fighters that definitely gives back to the community. Yeah. No doubt about that.
Of course, I'm Filipino, so of course I have Bruno Mars. I have my people.
People's back.
Right. Vince, before we jumped into your stuff, I think you were gonna mention some of the horror films you were part of in the past. Want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh yeah. I think I've only been in 2 or 3. I'm trying to think. And I was in Dark Wolf, which was a very cheesy film with Kane Hodder. He played the Dark Wolf. It was a lot of fun. I played I just had a small role in it, and I get killed by the wolf, but it was pretty exciting to see my arm get torn off by a wolf. And then the other one I was in was called Born with Alison Brie. I think it was like one of her first films, and she blew up after that. She ended up doing Glow and Mad Men and all kinds of stuff. And I was just I can't even. It was just so crazy. The crazy stuff we did in that movie. She gets pregnant and she has this like little double baby come out of her.
Ooh, I love that. It's my kind of movie.
It kind of reminds me of you.
By the bishop, who happens to be the devil. You know.
Oh, we know those kind of stories, don't we?
Nope.
Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Horror films are a lot of fun. Yeah. And I died in that too. So, you know, like I said.
Well, if you're in a horror film, you have to die. You know, there's only one final girl, and that's it.
I brought the head with me. I have the head back inside the house. My head got chopped off in the film, but I kept it.
They let you keep it? I've done that before. I've given heads to people, actors before.
I actually want to put in one of those cases.
You definitely should.
Put in one of those cases like that you could put a basketball in. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Now that I thought about it, can't let
set it on your mantle.
That'd be a blast.
Yep, it sure would, man. What you're right. I think Tommy, you killed me. I died in all your films too.
Yeah, I kill you.
Kind of. Yeah. Well, the thing is, horror films, like all the sets I've been on, everyone has so much fun because they're just like, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this shit, and you know what? This is what we're gonna do to your body. Like, I had so much fun being on that table in Evil Offspring for what, 3-4 hours. My legs are through a big.
Because they went through holes in the door. It was a door, and we put through holes so it looked like he had his arms and legs cut off. So and we put intestines in front of him.
My whole body was numb, and I'm just sitting there. You know, in a real like human being would already be dead, and you're like, no more screaming. Your intestines are getting pulled out. I'm like, all right, I'll give it to you. I'll scream for 3 hours for you and then die.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautifully.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of toys.
I mean, horror films are great. You have a lot of fun in them, and then you can't take yourself too seriously, but as an actor, you take the work seriously because that's what makes the horror film so great. It
does. It makes it even funnier and more depth if you play it straight. So much better, you know. Unless, like my son, he loves bop movies, bad on purpose movies.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he calls them bop movies.
like Thanksgiving or Zombievers or something like those.
Zombievers
oh,
is
man.
really good.
It is. Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Zombievers. Yeah, well, Vince, check that out.
Well, I'm friends with Lloyd Kaufman. He's come to my show a few times, and
Lloyd Kaufman.
His movies are
I hit him up at Sundance.
He's a great man. He's a
Toxic Avenger movies. Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing, he does all those schlocky movies, but he is an amazing businessman. He really is.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he went to like Harvard or something with one of the Bushes, and his wife was the film commissioner. He calls her commish in New York, and he was actually president of AFM, of the IFTA, for a couple of years. So,
wow! And
he helps people he likes, like James Gunn and a whole bunch of other people that started out. James Gunn wrote the Tromeo and Juliet.
Oh,
it was one of his first things he ever wrote, and then after that he got the Scooby-Doo movies, and then to do all the other ones. Yeah, but that's Lloyd helps people get started in the business. He's a great man, really nice. You know.
Yeah, I like him.
Fight for the underdog. That's what I love.
There you go. Love it. Fight for that underdog.
Good.
What's that?
I say yes. Fight for that underdog.
Yes.
Oh, that's right, man. That's right.
We're the underdogs. That's why.
Yeah, we are, aren't we all? What do you have planned, like, upcoming, Vince? Is there anything canceled that you're about to work on? Or I mean, I know you're doing a lot. You audition a lot and everything else, but like.
Yeah, I mean, there've been a couple of things that I was supposed to be a part of that got canceled, and we'll see if it happens in the summertime or fall. Right now, I just don't know. I mean, it's a crazy time. So hopefully,
when the work comes back, it's going to be nonstop.
Oh yeah,
it will be nonstop. My son works at a post house that does all the digital stuff for cable shows, and they put them on furlough, but they still have all their deadlines. So they're going to be backing up. So they're going to have to, they're like ready to jump in right as soon as they can. So there will be a lot of work. So I like to stay positive though. So,
Yeah, I mean, because there's another docuseries that I'm supposed to direct and produce. We were supposed to be filming now, but obviously we can't. So maybe in July we'll come back to that and film that and hopefully get that going. And I'm pretty positive we will. It's just we'll see, we'll see. But yes, definitely the business will be coming back. Boom.
Yeah, because people are getting really creative. Like we're doing this. Our friend Felissa Rose, she's Sleepaway Camp. This is her movie. She filmed a whole movie on Zoom. They put it all together. They had people do their parts, and then they're gonna just put it all together. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. So people are getting really creative doing stuff. Except everyone says, if you start a podcast, don't invite me. Because everyone's starting a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
We got this for a little while longer, so.
Yeah, but no, I think it's a good time to do writing and do all kinds of different things. So, but I like to play a lot of video games and sit on my ass. But
Right.
But it sounds good when I say it.
It does. You'll be up and off that soon enough, Tommy. Soon enough. It's just gonna feel like forever before we get going. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But you'll be going soon enough.
Yes.
Yep.
Good. So
rocking and rolling.
Any other questions?
No, I'm good, man.
Good. So we would love to come back and circle around with you in the next few weeks. And, we'll put this up, and then we might do a thing with fans that can call in and that can come on the Zoom and ask you questions and stuff.
Cool. I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hey, before you go, Vince, do a little tagline for Horror Vision 2020. Just be like Horror Vision 2020. See you soon.
Horror Vision 2020. See you soon. Come play with us. Come die with us. Come get bloody with us. Horror Vision 2020.
Awesome. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.